All right, let me get everything set up. What is going on? What is going on? There we go. Got my chat. All right. All right. I'm really wearing a hat today. Yeah, we'll get there in a second. I've been streaming for 40 seconds. Jay Fried. Give me a second. I knew as soon as I came on stream, the first thing I would hear was someone from the Mid-Atlantic asking about snow totals. But I went over that in my video, so you can also watch that. But we're going to go over snow totals for New York City here in a second. From the National Weather Service and from the European. Yes, we are. Yeah, actually, let me pull that up here so we can get a little, kind of have that ready. Let's expand this. That's fine. High ends. The high end amounts are crazy. The high end amounts would be so nice for DC to Boston. We're talking 4 to 9 inch high ends from DC to Boston. High ends. You know, expect it. 4 inches. Philly, New York City, 2 to 3 inches. Long Island, 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches. But the high end is possible in this scenario. It all depends on the tilt of our trough and where that cold front stalls off the coast. So we're going to go over all this. I'm going to let some people get in here. All right. We're going to mute Yerrick because Yerrick is spamming, and we don't do that. So, oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, my mods are way... Okay, guys, I swear, I have the fastest mods of all streamers on any platform doing any content. Anytime I try to mute someone for being rude or spamming, they're already muted. I usually end up unmuting them by accident. I can't even get there quick enough. Guys, I'm going to start. Give me 30 more seconds. I'm going to go over everything. Our snow totals for this weekend from the Northern Plains out through the Midwest, along the coast. I'm going to go over all of our snow totals this weekend. I'm going to go over all of our temperature changes, our winter update. That's going to take me a total max a couple minutes. And then I'm going to take all your guys' questions. Promise. We're about to get started. I've been streaming for like 2 minutes, so I'm just letting people hop in here because I hate repeat. Well, I'm going to have to repeat myself a million times anyways. Jay Fried. I appreciate it. Marissa, what's going on? And Jay, yeah, you can spam it. We're going to talk about New Jersey. Yeah, I don't care if people ask a question multiple times. Just don't do it like question, and spam so I can't see the chat. Whoa, Jared with the Galaxy. Except for Jared. Jared donated a Galaxy. I'll just answer any questions he has. Jared, all right, mods. Jared can spam. Oh, I'm kidding. Jared, I appreciate you. That was extremely generous. I appreciate that. Damn, I didn't stream for like 3 days, and I come back and I instantly get a Galaxy. Jared, that was extremely generous. I appreciate you. Seriously. Okay. Let me quickly spend the next couple of minutes telling you guys probably all the questions you're asking in chat, because I'm going to go over all of our snow totals over the weekend, our high end, our low end, our expected. I'm going to go over our temperature swings and the winter updates, because everyone online is like, oh, God, blowtorch to the east. Christmas is ruined. I don't think it's... Calm down. Hit the brakes. All right, let's go over this. Do you guys want me to go over expected snow totals first, or what the high-end snow totals could be? You're going to have you have about a 10, I would say a 10 to 20% chance, looking at the updates on the storm, a 10 to 20% chance of seeing the high-end snow totals. Do you want me to go to the expected first? Yeah, I think I should go to the expected first, right? Because we don't want to get everyone's hopes up too much. Let's go over the expected first. For those of you who don't know, the light blues, okay, the light blues to the dark blue, this is basically 1 to 2 inches when you're in the light blues. Then you get up here, you're looking like 3 to 5 inches in the darker blues. And then once you get to the yellow, you're 6 inches, and this is up to 8 inches in this orange, so you're 6 to 8 inches here. So you get to a half a foot once you get to the yellow, but the dark blue is pretty nice, 4 inches, these dark blues here. Montana, eastern Montana, low elevation snow. Good for you guys, fantastic. There's like 8 people who live here, though, so we're going to move on. I'm just kidding, guys. No, but this is some good. There hasn't been a ton of low elevation snow, I don't think, in certain parts of Montana. So this is good. Billings, 3.5 potentially. Some really good snow up here where I can't even find a city. But Havre, I don't know how to pronounce it. Lewistown's pretty good snow. Malta, Miles City's pretty good snow. So not too bad up there for Montana. I love me some Montana. Iowa expected South Dakota expected totals. Good swath of 2 to 4 inches across the state. Northeastern, far southwestern, might miss out. We've got a strip of snow that's going to move through here, and we're going to go over the future radar so you guys can see exactly how the storm's going to develop. Moving down to Iowa, same thing as South Dakota. They're just copying and pasting into Iowa. Northeast, southwest don't want to be there. But, you know, we're talking Des Moines, 2.5 inches, Waterloo, 1.5 inches, Dubuque, 1 inch, Iowa City, 3 inches, Davenport, 3 inches. You know, not bad. But again, this is your expected. There's the possibility you guys get 3 to 4 more inches of snow than this shows here. Possibility. But I really think the high ends have a much higher chance once we get out towards Indiana, Ohio, and out east. And you guys want to know why? Because that's where our storm starts to tilt. That's when we get a deepening low pressure. And I think you could really produce some good snow out here. Indianapolis, 5 inches. Again, this is an area you want to be if you want an overperformance. Indianapolis could see an overperformance here. Terre Haute. I think someone said that's how you pronounce it, right? Terre Haute. Hey, $5 super chat. Is it so it's possible Mobile, Alabama to get snow? Probably not with this storm. This winter? Yes. We've got a very variable jet, crazy La Nina. 100%. January looks really cold. We have another stratospheric polar vortex stretch, potentially split going on right now. So that could throw cold air down into Alabama at the right time to get snow down there this winter. It's possible, definitely. Fort Wayne, maybe 2 inches. West coast of Michigan, UP of Michigan, you know, lots of lake effect, but again, a good 3 to 8 inches, depending on if you get in the lake effect snow. UP of Michigan could get dumped on a foot in some areas. All right, let's move out here a little. Okay, so Louisville expected 1 inch. Louisville expected 1 inch. You guys know where you are in this map. Again, the darker blues were up at around 5 inches, the yellow 6th, and then you get into 1 to 3 when you get down here. Okay, Dayton, 6 inches expected. Columbus, 5 inches expected. This could be a very good snowstorm for you guys. Cincinnati, 4 inches expected. Up here, Cleveland, 6. Up towards Erie, up to possibly a foot expected. Most of Ohio is getting snow here, if not all of Ohio. Maybe Toledo only gets a half inch, but most of Ohio. Now we're looking at Louisville out east. I mean, northern Kentucky, you could end up with a few inches here of good accumulation. West Virginia, good accumulation, including in the low elevation. Charleston, high elevation. Pittsburgh, right now, the expected amount, about 5 inches. Erie, again, about a foot. Now, out here, Buffalo all the way up to Watertown. It depends on your... yeah, and I can go over a little bit more of that Justin here in a second. I appreciate that super chat. Whoa. Gage, happy Friday. Oh, yeah, happy Friday, guys. I forgot about that. Waterloo could get... Waterloo. Watertown, maybe about 6 to... It just had to be. Watertown could get 6 to 7 inches of snow. But you can see right here, Pulaski, 2 feet possible. Expect it. Syracuse, about 5 inches. Rochester, 4 inches. Depending on where our lake effect bands go, you guys know that could change. Erie, Buffalo, you could end up getting more than 5 inches, but that's your expected. Here we go. Here's what everyone's here for. Not everyone, but a lot of people here want to know. The expected amounts in Boston currently, about 1 inch, 1.5 inch accumulation. Again, we could see more than this, and we'll go over what we could see here in a second. New Bedford, 3.5. You can see Connecticut, swath of 1 to 2 inches. Same with Rhode Island. Central to eastern Massachusetts, 1 to 2 inches. Long Island, interesting scenario here. We could start to get that neutral negative tilt really as this gets far out east, and that could just pull a bunch of snow. Eastern Long Island could actually outperform Western Long Island, which doesn't always happen. So, I mean, 4 inches is possible. 3 to 4 inches across all of Long Island is possible. Right now, they're thinking New York City, 3 inches. That city heating effect can change your snow ratio in the city, but 2.5 inches maybe into New York City expected right now, Trenton 3.5, Philly 3.5, Baltimore 3.5, DC 2 inches. Jersey, we're getting snow out to the coast potentially here. Potentially snow on the beach, as what's-her-face said. And, yeah, Atlantic City an inch. Long Branch maybe 4 inches. So good snow for Jersey. No, I mean, not like great snow, but good. This is accumulating snow. This is going to pile up a little bit. And it's not going to go away right away because we've got at least a couple days of cooler air behind this. There you go. Now, really quickly, we're going to run through high end. And I'm going to go through high end much quicker because I want to get to your guys' questions. Boston, high end, 4 to 6 inches. Connecticut, Rhode Island, high end, we're talking 3 to 6 inches. Long Island, we're talking up to 8 inches on the high end. New York City, we're talking up to probably 6 to 8 inches on the high end. Philly, 6 to 8 inches on the high end. Baltimore, 6 to 8 inches on the high end. DC, 5 inches on the high end. Jersey, all of Jersey, 6 to 8 inches on the high end, depending on where you are. Well, central to southern Jersey, northern Jersey, looks like maybe 5 inches on the high end. Crazy snow up here, 2.5 feet. You just push all these snow totals that I told you from expected up 3 to 4 inches typically. You can see here Columbus, 8 inches on the high end. Dayton, 8 inches on the high end. Louisville, 2.5 inches on the high end. Lexington, 3 inches on the high end. Cleveland, up to 8 inches. Indianapolis, up to 10 inches on the high end. Not much of a change out here high end with Michigan because it's a lot of lake effect and it's not affected by this main system. Champaign, Decatur, 7 to 8 inches on the high end. Davenport, 5. Des Moines, 5. Waterloo, 4. Chicago, about 1.5 inches on the high end. And then we go up here towards South Dakota. And again, we're just pushing these up a little bit here. So, all right, that's done. I'll quickly show you the progression, and then I'm just going to get to questions here. Here is our latest European. Let's go to the 06Z. As we get into Saturday, this is going to be Saturday, tomorrow, afternoon, morning, afternoon. This snow is flying from Montana through South Dakota into Iowa, starting to enter into Illinois. As we get to Saturday evening, pretty late, maybe around 9 p.m., this snow is in the Midwest. It's moving pretty quickly. What the heck? Wow, how to get there so quickly? I actually didn't even realize it was moving this quickly. Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. Sunday, as we in the late afternoon, evening hours. Dumping over there. Boom. We get into Sunday morning, and we could have snow falling from eastern Kentucky all the way up through south, through southern Maine. And you get this kind of really nice burst right here in the mid-Atlantic. This is where obviously your heavier snow is going to fall. You could have some good. Here's the thing. It's moving really quickly. You could end up having an inch an hour rates here, maybe more, but it's moving quickly. But this is that good band of snow. New York City, Philly, DC, Baltimore, potentially could all be in it at the same exact time. And then look at this. Look at Sunday, potentially, we'll call it around 7 a.m. Set your alarms. I know we like to sleep in on Sunday, but if you like snow, heavy snow. And look where this really, really heavy snow. This would be 2 inch an hour accumulations if we saw this type of snow here. This is the Euro. Let's wait a little bit. But could that strip of 2 inch an hour snow set up maybe from central Jersey through Philly, through Baltimore, maybe even up to New York City? It's possible, but heavy band of snow possible there. HRRR 12Z is out. Oh, nice. HRRR 12Z is out, and boom, it shows that heavy snow band as well. This is heavy, heavy, heavy snow through here. And look at these cities we have included, guys. This is heavy, heavy snow. Heavy, heavy snow if we get this set up. The HRRR loves it as well. Loves Long Island as well. Good for you guys. All right. I don't really even want to look at the snow totals here. I want to get to questions, but I'm not going to see this all the way through yet. We see this on the HRRR short range, but it's still snowing. This is the end of the model run while it's still snowing, so expect these totals to be up on the HRRR. So anyways, that's what's going on. Does our NAM 3K see out here? I don't think it's not going to see out far enough yet. Our Rufus probably will, but the Rufus is terrible with snow. I almost don't even want to look at it, but it does drop 7 inches into Long Island. So I bet people out in Long Island want to see it. 5 inches into Philly, 5 inches into New York City. Bet you guys like that. All right. Let me get to questions. And temperature wise, I'll make this last 20 seconds. I just forgot. Temperature wise, guys, I know everyone's saying we're going to see a blowtorch. We're going to be negative 30, or we're going to be 30 to 40 degrees below average, like everywhere from the plains out east this weekend. Tons of record lows are being broken this weekend. I'm not going to go through it. We could get negative. It feels like temperatures down into Tennessee, northern Georgia. This heat moves back in. The models yesterday said this heat was going to stay. Guess what? Just kidding. There's some more cold. All right. Get out of here with all that nonsense, blowtorch. All right, at least up until the 20th, 21st of December. Maybe we get a little bit of a zonal flow here leading into Christmas. We wouldn't love it. We're still pretty cold, actually, in the mid-Atlantic and New England, though. But, again, we're not seeing this immediate blowtorch out east. Okay. What's going on, chat? What's going on? I've been good. Yeah. I had technical issues. Took a couple days off. Did I say it right? Terre Haute? Emmanuel, is that the one I was saying right? What's this SpongeBob? 35 SpongeBobs? I'm ready. Oh, I got a cowboy hat. Yeehaw, ride him, cowboy. I missed it. Appreciate it. Appreciate the gifts, guys. I'm just looking back through here real quick. I appreciate all you. Mary South, Erica, Sprinkler Guy, Gage, Angie, Steve. Sorry if I missed anyone. I'm going to miss people. Confused Blonde. J Fried, Gemini, Jared. I appreciate you guys. I know I probably missed someone. Should I listen to the Weather Channel? It says 1 inch in New York City. Well, the National Weather Service, which is, you could call it the Weather Channel, thinks 2.5 inches. So I wouldn't listen to. Well, I don't know if they're talking about an old run, but this is the national. This is NOAA, probabilistic snow portal from the National Weather Service. So I don't, I don't know. You can trust the Weather Channel, but I don't know why they're not using their own info. This is what the Weather Channel would probably be looking at. 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches in the New York City on the expected. So interesting that they're disagreeing with that, but they're probably being cautious. People don't like to be told they're going to get a lot of snow and get nothing. Ohio, yeah, good swath of 3 to 5 inches through most of Ohio. Toledo, northern and northwestern Ohio can end up being on the low end, dusting to 2 inches up there. Is there a big snowstorm coming on Christmas? We'll have to see. I spoke about this magical mid-December warm-up forever, and it's finally taking place. We just don't want it to stretch out through the 25th, which it could. We'll have to see. We look like we're going to have a big cold blast around the 20th, 21st, right before Christmas, but we could have warm air following that. Still a little far out to tell you exactly the day of Christmas what I think the temperature is going to be where. I need a few more days on that, guys. Yeah, ride him, cowboy. Crap, I probably missed that one too. Yali, I appreciate it. One mom, appreciate you. Yeehaw. Maryland. Yeah, Maryland, a good swath of 1 to 4 inches is possible. You're going to want to be in central to northern Maryland to get that good snow. You can see out here, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Aberdeen, Westminster, Frederick, down to Easton. You could potentially see some good snow. Not much snow for Seattle. Let me actually flip over here real quick, guys. Let me show you the live radar. Here we go. We got some snow falling up through Montana right now. This is our system that's going to dive down into the Midwest and hopefully make everyone on the I-95 Mid-Atlantic corridor, New England corridor happy. This is going to continue to kind of fall throughout the day today, and then we're going to get a low-pressure system or a piece of energy diving down, amplifying this, and pushing it out towards the East Coast. I should really go like that. More like, whoop. But you got some nice snow actually falling down here in Virginia. What's going on down here in Virginia? You guys are going to smash your averages this year. What is going on? More snow for Virginia. You guys hogging all the snow. A little bit of eastern Kentucky. A little bit. Oh, is it snowing here? Oh, it is. How long has it been? I didn't even realize it was snowing here. All right, a little bit of snow from Minneapolis. Shows you how much I know. I just was not paying attention to that. Anyways, you guys are going to hate this, but I'm going to show you anyways. I'm going to take more questions. 6 to 10 day temperature forecast. You guys like that? 8 to 14 day temperature forecast. Don't worry. I think they're way outdoing the heat here. Don't worry. New models came out this morning that really... We're going to warm up. We're going to warm up for a tiny bit here. Maybe a week. Hopefully not 2 weeks, but maybe a week. 10 days. We're not going to warm up. We're not going to see this type of heat for 2 weeks. Okay? Back into the 3 to 4 week, our jet stream punches back down, brings cold air back down. The other big talking point here, guys, is look at the Northwest for precipitation, 6 to 10 day, 8 to 14, 3 to 4 week. There's going to be a big flood. There already is flooding issues up there. It's going to get worse, unfortunately. All right, let's get back to asking questions. All I see is I'm still cold, right? I know. Same, Marissa. Can I tell you about Elwood City? Where? Where is it? Where's Elwood City? Oh my God, I'm yawning. There's an Elwood in Indiana. There's an Elwood in New York. There's an Elwood in Illinois. There's an Elwood in Kansas. So I don't know where. Near Pittsburgh? Well, if it's near Pittsburgh, then just say Pittsburgh. 5 to 6, 4.5 to 5.5 inches. We'll say 4 to 6 inches for southwestern PA is possible. We don't need to go down to a local level when we're forecasting snow out. Almost 48 hours. So, yeah, 4 to 6 inches southwestern PA down here. Definitely possible. That's the expected amount. You guys could see more than that on the high end. Yeah, everyone is overblown to heat, Emmanuel. Crazy that it's just randomly snows in small soda. Small soda. Like that. Unfortunately, I'm in Yee land. It's damn near 70 degrees. Yeah. We've gotten just a million clipper systems this year. It's been very interesting. No big snowstorms. The biggest snow we've gotten is like 4 inches at a time, but it's happened like 5 times now, or 6 times. I mean, it's just continuously. So I think, I don't know, Minneapolis is at 15 or 16 inches. How's the PNW Mountains looking for snow? Not much more here in the short range. Let's actually take a look here. Let's take a look at our Euro about a week out. Winter, let's go to work. Chera. Boom. That's not a week out. There we go. Some good snow falling for the Pacific Northwest here, about a week out. In the mountains. 4 or 5 feet for some people. So not too bad. Not really low elevation snow, though. But that's over the next 6 days right there. That's that forecast. You see the Northwest. Good snow for Idaho. Mountain snow. Mountain snow for Idaho. And then we got mountain and low elevation snow for Montana. Some mountain snow for Wyoming over the next 7 days, too. All or 6 days. All some pretty decent accumulation. If you guys want to quickly get a little crazy here, look at the latest GFS snow totals over the next forever. See that snow starts to focus a little bit more on the west. Here's the GFS giving us no... Guys, this would just piss everyone off. Look at the GFS here. Not everyone. Practically no snow from Boston through New York City, Philly to DC to Baltimore. It pushes it right off the coast. Luckily for you, almost every model disagrees with the GFS this time around. Although the GFS has been doing pretty good this year, but almost every model disagrees with the GFS on this outlook. Snow total outlook or forecast. When will Wisconsin see snow again? Moving ahead here. Could be a while. Northern Wisconsin. We're talking about southern Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Could be a little bit. If we take a look at our pattern in the immediate moving forward. You can see here. A lot of cold air. That snowstorm moving into the east. And then watch what happens here. We get some warm Pacific air, guys. Warm Pacific air. This is what happens when I don't stream for a few days. I'm talking so quick, and now I'm out of breath. Because I'm like, when I do it every day, my breath is much better. I just can't. Can't take 3 days off. It's like a workout. Warm Pacific air. Pushing in across the country here as we get into the middle of next week. And this is going to really dry us out. This is going to dry us out for a while. Pacific Northwest, you will still see a lot of low elevation rain, high elevation snow. By the way, though, moving into late next weekend, PNW could see some low elevation snow out there in Oregon, Northern California, and Washington. Seattle, maybe we get colder air pushing down with that moisture. But yeah, we're dry. We're dry. Now, as we get out here towards the 19th and 20th, 18th, 19th, 20th, models do see another trough digging down here. Let me show you what happens here in the 00Z Euro. Boom. This would be severe weather. But this would also potentially be, depending on how this thing digs and how amplified it is, a snowstorm for the Midwest, East Coast, Southeast, for someone. Right now, the Euro sees this as snow. You can see it activates lake effect snow right here, and then puts tons of snow down in inner New England and through parts of the Midwest here. But this could always take a different angle. So interesting time frame here, 18th, 19th, 20th. Let's see what this trough does, and let's see if it tries to produce a snowstorm somewhere else down here. It could. We don't really exactly know. Don't look at the precipitation here. Just look at the troughing pattern. So then we start to get our clippers back up north. Look at that. This would be a monster blizzard for, we'll see, potentially Denver, potentially Omaha, potentially Des Moines, potentially Minnesota, maybe even Chicago, Milwaukee. If this drops a little bit farther to the south, this would be around the 26th of December. So interesting stuff moving ahead. We don't exactly know how it's all going to shape up. Snow totals for Pottstown, PA. Huh. Expected around 3 inches. High end, we'll probably say around 4 or 5 inches. Lance, I appreciate you. Is it looking less likely Chicago has a white Christmas? You know, I'm not for sure yet. I started talking about this mid-December warm-up in early December. It was my hope that this type of pattern, because we kind of saw it setting up climatologically, it's kind of my hope that this warm-up was going to be kind of now, December 12th to December 16th. I remember specifically on stream and on a video talking about that. What's unfortunately happened is that pattern is shifting slightly back, and this happens sometimes with the speed. We don't fully, it's hard to tell the speed at which troughing and ridging is developing. Now suddenly this warm-up is getting pushed back to the 21st through like the 27th, which is like the worst possible time we want to warm up. We want that mid. It's looking more like a late mid to late December warm-up. We don't want that, but it's still at a range where we may still get a nice big troughing system right before Christmas. The possibility's still there. So I'm not selling out that Christmas is going to be warm for everyone out east yet. But it's I hate it seeing that this kind of warm up that that at least I inevitably thought was coming. I hate to see this warm up shift. We're still going to end up with a very cold December overall because we're below average out east pretty much from December 1st through December 19th. But then we're going to see that warm up late. So we'll see. We'll see. Can I check Cincinnati? Sure. Expected amounts in Cincinnati, 4 inches. High end, you guys could see over 5 or 6 inches. Central New York doesn't look too bad. It's really up here stretching from... You've got Utica, Auburn, Watertown out to Rochester. You guys could get a good chunk of snow in there. Not looking like much for Albany. Winona, maybe 2.5. Binghamton, 2.5. Ithaca? Guys, I can't pronounce that. 2 inches. Cloversfield, maybe an inch. Not too crazy for upstate New York. High ends are going to be maybe a little bit higher though. South Jersey expected total somewhere between 1 to 4 inches is possible in South Jersey. It's probably going to end up being somewhere near 3 inches. At least that's the expected. I can push back up to the high ends, and you guys could see what's possible. We could get 6 inches down in the South Jersey on the high end. That girl, I love the SpongeBob's, guys. Well, Mom, I appreciate you. Lance, I appreciate you. Ithaca. Appreciate the follows, guys. Thank you. 8 new followers. I got a new subscriber, too. Grand Rapids, Michigan. On the high end, 3 to 4 inches. That's not a crazy amount on the high end. But I don't think your expected is much different. Yeah, your expected and high end are still both between like kind of 3 to 5 inches. 2 to 5 inches in there. Pittsburgh could get swallowed on the high end. We're talking about 9 inches of snow. Good accumulation. Low end 5 inches. Pittsburgh's going to have a good day, I think, regardless. I do. I think at a bare minimum, Pittsburgh gets 4 inches of snow if you have a bad day. 4 inches of accumulation, but it could be much better than that. Chances this system starts to negatively tilt. Well, thanks for letting me nerd out for a second. Let's look at the Vorticity map, and we'll take a look at the HRRR. Can I look at the... yeah, okay. Alrighty, folks. Here we go. Here we go. There is our storm. Obviously. There's our storm. Dropping snow, okay? Here it is. Here's... big low pressure system spinning up here. Here's this piece of energy spinning up here that's going to help bring some cold air down to the south. Some moisture. Hopefully we get some moisture pulling off the Atlantic. Here we go. It's going to interact with our system. Here's our 540 freezing line. Here's our jet stream. We're super positively tilted right now. Super positively tilted. We're starting to see the snow now fly through the Midwest, still positively tilted. And then here, let me go to the Euro. Let me go to the Euro Vorticity map here. We're gonna look at this one because I want to see what's happening to the north here. Okay, here we go. Positively tilted. Here's our energy in here, dumping snow. And does the Euro give us a neutral tilt? So the Euro, man, the Euro doesn't even neutral tilt now. I mean, until it's offshore. But at least the Euro 6E still gives us good snow out there. Decent snow. But it's looking positive the entire way. And the issue with the positive tilt, too, guys, in case you don't know, is the system runs offshore. If we get a negative tilt, two things happen. If instead of this trough looking like this, right? Instead of the trough looking like this, it's looking like this or like this. South or hanging to the right. What happens is neutral to negative tilt, we start to pull more moisture off the coast. So you get a deepening low pressure. Higher snow totals. Also, though, if it negatively tilts, the storm doesn't run off the coast. It doesn't run off the coast. It starts to turn up the coast. So now you have a deepening low pressure with more moisture, and you would call it a stalled jet for a little bit there as it makes its pivot. Pivot? I hope you guys all know that reference. As it starts to make its pivot and move up the coast. Pivot? When is La Nina expected to end? As we get push out of winter into spring. Pivot? Here, let me show you. Let's take a look at the latest Enzo updates. Pivot. That's we want the snowstorm to pivot, guys. Let's take a look at our latest. Do we have any better updates in here? Okay. This is November 13th. We don't want that crap. That's too old, guys. That's too old. November 19th, we don't want that crap. December 6th. JFM. Maybe February we move out of La Nina. Maybe mid-February, guys. Maybe mid-February. This is old. This is old crap. La Nina's here for the rest of winter. Federal forecaster. Okay, shut up. You guys don't listen to the internet sometimes. I don't know, mid-February, March. Could be earlier, but it'll be here through the peak of winter, La Nina. Burley, I appreciate you. How much snow is Pittsburgh going to get? 4 inches if you get unlucky. 9 inches if you get lucky. That's my estimation right there. I think you're probably going to end up with around 5. Pivot. Stop that counter. 1 second, let me pin this. I didn't ask you guys if my levels are okay, volume, music, whatever, but I guess it is. Parsonsburg, Maryland. Where the heck is that? Where the heck is that, Gage? I'll figure it out. Parsonsburg, Maryland. All right, we're going to call that Salisbury, okay? We're going to call that Salisbury. Because I feel like it. All right, let's look. Yeah, high end. High end. Let's not get too excited here. 2.5 inches. Expect it. Oof. Dusting. Maybe half an inch. How much for Philly? Right now, expect it. 3.5 inches of good accumulation. High end, and I don't even want to tell you because you guys in Philly will get too excited. High end, 8 inches into Philly. The issue is, though, guys. The issue is, how quickly does this warm air move in right after? Because is your snow just going to get annihilated by heat right after it snows? So you get the snow on Sunday. Now, through Monday, you're still cold. Snow sticks around. Through Tuesday, you're still cold. Snow sticks around. Through Wednesday, you probably still have your snow on the ground. Thursday, hey, if the latest Euro is correct here, and I think it's probably pretty correct, you may not even get that snow truly melting out there until Friday. So you may have a good stretch of 4 days, we'll say. But look at this. That heat moves through Thursday, Friday morning. You get another push of cold air. So if that kind of warm up doesn't last too long, maybe your snow stays on the ground. Maybe you've got and then another push of cold air. I mean, if you get lucky with how this cold air enters and how quickly this warm air moves through, your snow could stay on the ground at least until the 22nd of December if you get lucky there. 10 days, maybe 8 days. But again, we don't know that we're going to get this massive heat here. It's 260 hours out. Unfortunately, with temperatures, we can forecast this out farther. So this is definitely a real possibility here. But as you see, pushing out towards Christmas time, watch what happens here. You get some cold air that sinks potentially back into the mid-Atlantic, New England. So kind of looks like this may be a Central Plains, Central Southern Plains, Southeastern Ridge around Christmas time. We'll see, though. We're going to see some things change here. Greenwood, Indiana, you say. Greenwood, Indiana. All right, guys. I'm just going to take a complete guess on where it is, okay? I'm not going to look. I swear if Greenwood, Indiana is right next to Indianapolis and you didn't say Indianapolis, I'm not answering your question. It's my biggest pet peeve when people tell me tiny cities that they know I've never heard of and it's right next to a major city and they could have said the major city and then they never would have had to look it up. Is Greenwood right next to Indianapolis? Someone tell me. Brian, I appreciate the sub. It's going to snow in the Rockies. Yeah, we have a pattern shift here. Yeah, it's going to snow in the Rockies. Actually, probably leading. I'll show you that here in a second. It is, isn't it? Listen, I'm going to tell everyone in chat. If you're... Okay, so I'm going to give you a good example. Here's Indianapolis. Like, if you're anywhere here in this big box, anywhere there in that big box, don't tell me the small city that you know I've never heard of, because then I have to go look it up and then I can't answer other people's questions. Just say Indianapolis. As you can see here, everyone in this box is expected the same exact total. Okay? It's when we're forecasting snow, we're not forecasting for like a zip code. We're forecasting for like a region of the state, a section of the state. So central Indiana, you could have just said central. I'm obviously just trolling. I'm not actually that mad. But you could have just said central Indiana. I'm just telling everyone that helps me answer questions super quickly. Especially if you're in the metro area of a big city, just say the city. I'm not in downtown Minneapolis, but I'm Minneapolis when it comes to weather. You know what I mean? So, favorite Twins player? None. They suck. And they need a new owner. But, you know, I want them to be good, so. So we're wearing the Twins hat. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Whoa! Insane gift from Ty. 45,000 coins. I don't even know what that. A legend. Holy crap, Ty. Thank you. You did not have to do that. I appreciate it. That is insane. You're way too generous. That is freaking incredible. I know. Ty just comes in, drops off like the largest gift you can gift on TikTok, and then just says me again in the chat. What a legend. That's crazy. You're way too nice. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Ty, you're awesome. That's thank you. That's all I can say. I don't even know. That's crazy. And I just missed a few days of streaming too. I appreciate that, Ty. I appreciate the follows, guys. How much you thinking for Columbia? It's between DC and Baltimore. I appreciate that. I actually, I kind of know where that is though. 3 inches. I don't actually get mad if you guys tell me small towns, small cities. But I just kind of joking. It does help if you're near a major city. If you're 40 miles out of a major city, you don't need to tell me the major city. Obviously, like there's suburbs that are a little bit farther out. But I don't actually get I'm kind of joking. I don't actually get mad, but I just have to look it up. Chance of a white Christmas. Ty, you're crazy, dude. Chance of a white Christmas in New Hampshire. I would say this. Not too bad. Chances I think are pretty good because even though we have a little bit of a warm up, New England, the Mid-Atlantic could stay colder during that stretch and through Christmas. Definitely. What about Speedway, Indiana? Don't do that to me, Emmanuel. Yeah. See, that's a perfect example, Emmanuel. Indianapolis. I will say there's some times where you have these like really weird snow events where it's like a super small streak of snow, and then you have like really sharp boundaries in between cities, and in those cases, sometimes being 10 miles north or south can make a big difference. So, Columbus! Lucas, I don't like answering spam, but I'm going to answer you. I don't know why, because I'm feeling generous. 5 inches. 5 inches expected on the high end. You guys could see, yeah, about 8 inches on the high end. Did the storm for New Jersey just trend worse for less snow? No. Expected amount. Most of Jersey, we're seeing somewhere between 2 to 4 inches. High end, 5 to 8 inches on the high end for Jersey. You're actually, usually a lot of times northern Jersey has a better chance for snow. You actually probably want to be kind of Newark and south for the best snow. But it looks like most of New Jersey has got a good chance of snow here. Philly on the high end, you could get 8 inches. On the low end, you might end up with an inch or 2. Philly's expected is about 3.5 inches of accumulation, though. So on the high end, if you guys get a lucky setup here, 6 to 8 inches isn't impossible in Philly. We were showing kind of the latest HRRR going out to regions here. Mid-Atlantic. Oh, and Mods, thanks for being on this stream because I know I've been shuffling around like crazy and having all my technical issues. And then I'm just like, hi, I'm here, I'm back. Taking a look at the latest HRRR. And the Euro sees this too. This is too far out to know exactly where the heaviest snow band's going to be. But this area in here, in particular, and it could be farther. I mean, we could be including all of this. We'll call it in here. This area in particular, someone's going to see a 1 to 2 inch accumulation an hour type snow. Where literally 3 hours can put down, in a 3 hour time frame, you could have 6 inches of snow on the ground. It looks like the Euro, HRRR, I'm going to look at some other short range. The Rufus want a heavy band of snow somewhere in here. Right now, it has it right here. Right now, this is where it has the heaviest band of snow, but we're too far out to forecast down to that local. We're not very far out. We're within 48 hours, but the smaller you try to get your local forecasting, the closer you need to be. Right now, it likes that heaviest strip of snow, potentially Trenton, Philly, northern Delaware, out towards southern Jersey. This could end up being, though, that strip of snow could end up being here. Baltimore, Philly, could end up being here. DC, Baltimore, could end up being here. New York City, Trenton. So Where's that heavy band of snow gonna set up? That's 2-inch an hour snow. It's, this is kind of like gambling. It's kind of fun. You don't have to lose any money though. You're just like, it's gonna be a big surprise what you're gonna get. Who knows? Maybe Philly, you'll end up with no snow. Could be. Maybe you'll end up with no snow, Philly. I'm just kidding. I don't think. Everyone in Philly's freaking out. I don't think you're gonna end up with no snow in Philly. I really don't think so. Very, very unlikely. Not impossible. Very unlikely you end up with no snow in Philly. Atlanta, when are we gonna get snow? Again, when do you have your first chance? Not a super good chance, but a chance here. Moving forward, I like to say, okay, when's an opportunity? Right here. We'll call it the 18th to the 21st. That time frame. Why? Well, amplified trough digging into the plains. Does this over amplify, drag moisture off the Gulf and dump snow into Atlanta? It's a possibility. I give it a 1 to 3% chance right now, just because of the range it's at. This could also end up being a huge nor'easter. Anytime you get a big trough digging in to the plains like this in winter, you have a chance to get snow along this baroclinic boundary. Right now, that's not what the models see. They see that snow forming as we get up into the northeast. Great Lakes, Ohio, West Virginia, a little bit in PA, New England. Not impossible if this thing dives down a little bit farther to the west and negatively tilts earlier. Suddenly you have a big snowstorm for the east, potentially even the southeast. So there's a window here. There's a window here for snow in the southeast. Not a great window, but 100%. I've seen this before, and I've seen it happen before, and it will happen again. 100% a window here for snow there. I wouldn't go on what's that betting app everyone's using now? Clashy. I wouldn't throw any money on it on there. I'm sure there's got to be weather betting on there. I should check. Oh my God, I'd do so much weather betting. That'd be so bad. I can't talk about this on stream. I hope Saturday is good snow. No southward shifts. Want to fly my drone? That'd be sick. I want to see the footage. How much snow is supposed to fall in Germantown, Maryland? Is Germantown one word? I'm just going to assume it is. I was good at science, not English. Germantown, Maryland. That is an interesting location. I guess you're near... Yeah, that's an interesting... I guess to the northwest of D.C. Rockville. Yeah, right now, high end, 5 inches maybe. Expect it around 2.5 inches of snow. We just had snow last night in Jersey City, New Jersey. Are we getting more? You had snow last night? What'd you have, a dusting? You had snow last night? What? It had to have been very little. What? Yeah, just a little. Okay, I was like, what did I miss? Okay, no, that makes sense. I mean, it's cold up there, so. So wait, you're talking about Jersey? Yeah, Jersey City. Jersey City. Give me a second. Most of New Jersey is probably going to see some accumulation here. Now, the issue with New York City and Jersey City is your city heat effect, your island heating effect. It messes with your snow ratio. Expect it still in your area is about 3 inches. High end, 6 inches still. I just worry about that snow ratio when you're around a lot of buildings, cars. Central New York here. It's not technically winter yet, but make it stop already. More lake effect. Wait, so you want the snow to stop, but you want more lake effect? I'm confused. Nettie. Philly, 3 inches. Expected 3 inches. High end 6 inches. We'll say 6 to 8 inches high end. Yeah, Union, New Jersey right now. 5 to 7 on the high end, we'll call it. Expected about 3 inches. Guys, I got to get a little work done today. I would love to keep streaming. Got to get a little work done today. I posted a video where I went over all these snow totals. It's on my YouTube. It's on my TikTok. It's on my Instagram. So I probably talked about at least your region in that video. If you want to go check it out. If you missed anything, it's in my video today. And I don't just say that. Obviously, I want people to watch the video that I spend time making, but also I answer a lot of these questions in that video. So if I can't keep streaming, it's somewhere to go. You guys are awesome. Mods, I appreciate you. Ty, you're an absolute legend. It's ridiculous. I still can't believe you did that again. And I hope you didn't ask the question and I missed the question because I don't feel like an idiot. But I appreciate all you guys. More videos tomorrow. More live streams tomorrow. Saturday, I'm probably going to take off. It's my wife's birthday weekend. Got to take a little time off. Also, Ashes of Creation came out. But wife's birthday weekend, so maybe Saturday I take off. You guys are all awesome. Everyone have a great day. Thank God it's Friday. You guys are awesome. Peace.